Have you ever caught yourself pondering how you ended up agreeing to something you initially didn't want? Have you ever wondered why certain conversations leave you feeling as if you're in a fog, doubting your own thoughts? It could be that you're being subtly manipulated without even realizing it. In this interconnected world, we're constantly interacting with different people, each with their own intentions and methods. Often these interactions are harmless or even enriching, but what happens when others' intentions become dark and their methods manipulative? Today, we're diving into the complex and often hidden world of manipulation. This video isn't just a simple talk. It's a revelation, a journey towards understanding the 10 most subtle and powerful forms of manipulation, and most importantly, how you can defend yourself against them. Why is this knowledge crucial? Because we live in an era where manipulation doesn't just come from the people around us, but also from larger omnipresent structures like media and social networks. Knowing these techniques isn't just an act of self-protection, it's a step towards greater autonomy and personal freedom. Today, I'll guide you through this labyrinth, showing you how to recognize and neutralize these tactics, from gaslighting that makes you question your reality to emotional manipulation that plays with your deepest feelings. Together, we'll unravel these strategies, providing you with the tools to maintain your power and make decisions that truly reflect your desires and needs. Join me on this journey of discovery and empowerment. If you are new here, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 1. Emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation is comparable to a hidden game of chess, where your emotions are the pieces and your mind is the board. Imagine strolling through a magical forest, where each tree represents a different emotion: joy, fear, guilt. Each of these trees can be shaken by someone, causing you to lose your balance. It's important to realize that emotional manipulation isn't always obvious. It often disguises itself as concern, affection, or even silence loaded with meaning. The manipulator is like a skilled magician, adept at diverting your attention away from their true intentions. This process begins with seemingly harmless actions or words that gradually entangle you in a web of uncertainty and anxiety. One common tactic is guilt. Picture a friend asking you for a favor, one that makes you uncomfortable or goes against your better judgment. When you decline, they respond with a disappointed sigh and a look that speaks volumes. "I thought we were friends," they say, and suddenly you find yourself questioning your decision and feeling selfish for prioritizing your own needs. Another subtle form of emotional manipulation is fear. Someone might insinuate, without directly saying it, that something terrible could happen if you don't follow their advice or comply with their requests. It's like being trapped in a dark room, with the only source of light coming from the person manipulating you. They make you dependent on their guidance and direction. So, how can you protect yourself against these tactics? The first step is self-awareness. Take the time to understand your emotions, to recognize what brings you happiness, sadness, anger, or fear. Just like a gardener who knows every plant in their garden, you must know every emotion that blossoms within you. This will provide you with a solid foundation to identify when someone is trying to toy with your emotions. The second step is establishing clear boundaries. This doesn't mean building an impenetrable wall around yourself, but rather having doors that you can open or close at will. Learn to say no without feeling guilty and accept that you can't always please everyone. The third step is to seek balance in your relationships. In order to find harmony in your relationships, it is crucial to seek balance. Just like a graceful dance, a healthy relationship requires both partners to move together, respecting each other's pace. If you constantly find yourself dancing to someone else's tune, it's time to reconsider that relationship. Lastly, never underestimate the power of open and honest communication. Although confronting someone who emotionally manipulates you may be challenging, Expressing your feelings or discomfort can bring about a shift in the dynamic. Emotional manipulation may be a dark art, but with self-awareness, clear boundaries, balance, and effective communication, you can become a master in safeguarding your emotions. Always remember, in the chess game of life, you hold the power to shape your own destiny. Form number 2, beware of logical fallacies. Beware of arguments that may appear logical at first glance, but are actually based on fallacies. These fallacies, such as personal attacks or generalizations, are like mirages in a desert. They may initially seem like a refuge of truth, but as you approach them, they disappear, leaving behind confusion and deceit. Logical fallacies occur when an argument lacks a solid foundation, even though it may seem reasonable or convincing on the surface. It is crucial to identify these fallacies in order to navigate the maze of daily communication and protect oneself against subtle manipulation. One common type of fallacy is the personal attack, known as ad hominem in Latin. Instead of addressing a person's argument, their character or personal attributes are attacked. Imagine engaging in a political debate, and instead of responding to your points, your opponent criticizes your education or past. It's as if someone decided to play unfairly by throwing sand in your eyes, blinding you and diverting attention from the real issue. Another frequent fallacy is the hasty generalization. This occurs when a small sample or personal experience is extended to an entire group. It's like seeing one bird fly south and concluding that all birds in the world fly south. This fallacy thrives on stereotypes and prejudices, creating fertile ground for discrimination and misunderstandings. There is also the slippery slope fallacy, which argues that a small first step will inevitably lead to a chain of negative events. It's like saying that if you allow your child to stay up late one night, they will inevitably become a chronic insomniac. This fallacy preys on the fear of future consequences, often exaggerating possible effects. To protect yourself from these fallacies, it is important to be vigilant and critically analyze arguments. Look beyond the surface and question the foundation of the presented reasoning. By doing so, you can navigate the complexities of communication with clarity and avoid being swayed by deceptive tactics. The first step in understanding logical fallacies is to educate yourself about them. It's like having a map in the desert of mirage, guiding you through the confusing world of conversation. When you come across an argument, ask yourself if it truly addresses the central point, and if it is supported by solid evidence or mere assumptions. Developing critical thinking skills is crucial. Don't accept everything you hear at face value. Instead, question, analyze, and seek evidence behind the arguments, just like a detective searching for the truth. Don't be deceived by appearances. Furthermore, learn to recognize and avoid using these fallacies in your own arguments. By keeping your discussions focused on facts and logic, you contribute to a more honest and productive dialogue. In short, being alert to logical fallacies is like having a compass in a sea of confusing and often deceptive arguments. It keeps you on the path of reason and truth, protecting you from being manipulated by arguments that may seem golden but are as solid as air. Form number 3, gaslighting detection. Gaslighting, or psychological manipulation, is a sneaky and insidious form of emotional manipulation. It's like a mind game where the manipulator tries to plant doubts in your mind about your own memory, perception, or sanity. It's as if they slowly rearrange the furniture in your house and then deny that anything has changed, making you question your own reality. This tactic can take on different forms, with denial being one of the most common. The manipulator simply refuses to acknowledge the truth or invalidates your experiences. It's like confessing to seeing a shooting star and having someone insist that you imagined it, even though you were completely sure of what you saw. Another form of gaslighting is distorting facts. The manipulator may twist reality to make you doubt your own memories. For example, If you clearly remember a conversation where something was agreed upon, the manipulator might insist it never happened or that something completely different was said. It's like being trapped in a maze of mirrors where each reflection distorts reality a little bit more. Gaslighting can also manifest through trivialization, where your feelings and thoughts are minimized or ridiculed. It's like being told that you're overreacting to something that genuinely concerns or hurts you. To recognize and counteract gaslighting, it's important to trust your intuition and your memories. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Keeping a record of events, conversations, and your own feelings can help validate your experiences and remember the exact details. You can maintain a journal or take notes on your phone. Seeking support from trusted friends or family members is also crucial. Talking to someone outside of the situation can provide a clearer perspective and validate your experiences. Additionally, practicing self-care and self-affirmation is vital. Strengthen your self-esteem and remember that you have the right to your own thoughts, feelings, and memories. Taking time for meditation or seeking guidance from a therapist can work wonders in nurturing your emotional health. Gaslighting, on the other hand, is a sneaky form of emotional manipulation that can shake your confidence in your own reality. It's important to educate yourself on how it operates and equip yourself with strategies to trust your own perception. These steps are vital in safeguarding yourself from this harmful tactic. Always remember, your reality is valid and deserves to be acknowledged and respected. Form number 4, awareness of group pressure. Peer or group pressure can have a significant impact on our decisions and beliefs. It can be both subtle and overt, like waves threatening to carry us in a direction we may not want to go. This form of social manipulation preys on our innate desire to belong and be accepted by a group. Sometimes it's as simple as conforming to a certain dress code, while other times it's as complex as changing our entire belief system to align with the group. To resist the influence of group pressure, it is crucial to develop a strong sense of self-esteem and self-confidence. Knowing who we are and what we value acts as an anchor in the choppy sea of opinions. It keeps us steady even when the waves try to drag us away. Additionally, it is important to recognize when we are being influenced. Sometimes it is obvious when someone explicitly encourages us to do something, but other times it is more subtle, like when everyone in our social group adopts a certain opinion or lifestyle, and we feel the implicit need to follow suit. Developing the skill to say no and establishing boundaries is crucial. We don't have to be confrontational, but being firm and clear in our decisions will help us stay true to ourselves. Imagine yourself as a tree with deep roots. Even when the wind blows hard, your roots keep you firmly in place. It is also beneficial to seek out a support group that respects your individuality. Surrounding yourself with people who value diversity of thought and support your personal decisions is like finding a safe harbor where you can be yourself without fear of judgment or pressure. Ultimately, it's important to base your decisions on your own values and principles rather than what's trendy or approved by others. This might require choosing the road less traveled, but it's crucial for leading a genuine and satisfying life. Understanding group pressure and knowing how to handle it is key to preserving your personal integrity and making choices that align with your true values and beliefs. Don't forget, it's perfectly fine to stand out and make your own decisions, even if it means going against the norm. Form number 5, identification of excessive flattery. Beware of the cunning use of flattery to gain your trust and manipulate you. Excessive flattery, disguised as harmless compliments, can be a deceptive tool. It's like a tempting bait with a hidden hook underneath. When someone constantly showers you with praise, it's easy to get carried away by the positive vibes without realizing that you're being manipulated. This type of manipulation preys on our ego and our desire to be appreciated and valued. It's like being offered a magical mirror that reflects the best version of ourselves, so alluring that we forget to look beyond the surface. However, it's crucial to remember that when praises are excessive or don't align with reality, there are likely hidden motives behind them. To protect yourself from falling into the trap of excessive flattery, the first step is to develop a healthy self-esteem and a realistic self-assessment. Knowing your strengths and weaknesses provides a solid foundation to evaluate the praises you receive. It's like having an internal navigation system that guides you to genuine territory and warns you of exaggeration. Additionally, pay attention to the context and frequency of the compliments. If they come from someone seeking something from you or occur too frequently, there are probably hidden motives at play. It's similar to when someone offers you a sweet treat every time they need a favor. Eventually, you start questioning their true intentions. Maintain a healthy emotional distance when you feel flattery is excessive. Politely thank the person, but don't let the praise carry you away. Think of it as carrying an umbrella on a sunny day. It may seem unnecessary, but it protects you in case it starts to rain. Seek opinions from people you trust, as their external perspective can help you determine if the praises are genuine or just a manipulative tactic. It's like having a second pair of eyes that can see what you might not be able to see for yourself. Finally, you can learn to distinguish between genuine compliments and manipulative flattery. Genuine praises are specific and relevant to the situation, while excessive flattery tends to be vague, generic, and disproportionate. Excessive flattery can be a subtle yet powerful form of manipulation. By having a healthy self-esteem, critically evaluating compliments, and maintaining emotional distance, you can protect yourself from being manipulated and ensure that your relationships are based on sincerity and mutual respect. Congratulations on reaching the halfway mark of the video. I commend you for striving to become a better version of yourself. Additionally, I kindly request you to leave a comment, as it greatly helps my channel. If you're unsure of what to comment, simply write "Wisdom Within" so I know you've made it this far. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Form number 6. Recognition of isolation tactics. Pay close attention to situations where someone tries to separate you from your loved ones or colleagues. Isolation is a sneaky and powerful manipulation tactic that makes you more vulnerable and dependent on the manipulator. It's like being stranded on a deserted island, relying solely on the person who put you there. The key is to recognize any subtle or obvious changes in your relationships. The manipulator may start questioning your friendships or relationships, planting seeds of doubt about their intentions and loyalty. It's as if they're using a magnifying glass to amplify every little crack in your relationships, turning them into deep chasms. They may also employ more direct tactics, like demanding you spend more time alone with them or belittling the people around you. It's like they're constructing a wall around you, brick by brick, cutting off your view and access to the outside world. To resist these tactics, it's crucial to keep your relationships and support networks active, even if someone tries to convince you otherwise. Regular communication with friends and family acts as lifelines, keeping you connected to reality and offering different perspectives. Another effective strategy is to establish and maintain clear boundaries. If someone tries to control who you associate with or how you spend your time, it's important to be firm and clearly communicate your boundaries. Think of it as building a fortress where you decide who enters and who doesn't. It is crucial to trust your instincts when you sense that something is amiss in how someone is influencing your relationships. Your gut feeling is like an internal alarm system that signals when there might be some truth to your concerns. Seeking external support is also important if you feel isolated. Talking to a counselor, therapist, or a trusted friend can offer valuable perspective and help you reaffirm your reality. Recognizing isolation tactics is vital for maintaining your autonomy and emotional well-being. By keeping your communication channels open and trusting your instincts, you can safeguard yourself from being isolated and manipulated. This ensures that your relationships are healthy, fair, and built on mutual respect. Form number 7, alert to ultimatums. When faced with ultimatums, it can feel like being pushed to the edge of a cliff, trapped with a daunting choice. Manipulators use ultimatums to create a sense of urgency and force decisions, limiting your options to what they want. It's crucial to recognize this tactic and be aware of extreme presentations of decisions, such as, "If you really loved me, you would do this," or "Our friendship will end if you don't do this." These statements act as red traffic signals, indicating someone's attempt to control your behavior through pressure and coercion. Ultimatums often appear reasonable at first glance, but upon closer inspection, they reveal a lack of respect for your needs and boundaries. They are like a wolf in sheep's clothing, seemingly harmless, but with a much more sinister nature. To handle ultimatums, take a moment to breathe and resist the pressure of the moment. Remember, you usually have more time than you think. Think of it as pressing the pause button in a video game, giving yourself a moment to gather your thoughts and consider your options. Furthermore, evaluate the consequences of each option. Ultimatums are often designed to make one option seem much worse than the other. By examining the long-term consequences, you can gain a clearer perspective on the situation. Don't let the manipulator's pressure cloud your judgment. Trust yourself and make decisions that align with your values and well-being. Discovering a path that aligns more closely with your values and needs is akin to studying a map before selecting a route. It allows you to explore all the potential directions and their outcomes. Another approach is to clearly communicate your emotions and boundaries, expressing how the ultimatum impacts you and establishing what you are and are not willing to do. This empowers you to assert your independence, firmly planting your feet on the ground and demonstrating that you cannot be easily swayed. Moreover, if you consistently encounter ultimatums in a relationship, it may be time to reassess that connection. A healthy and respectful environment should not be filled with threats or pressures to conform. Being aware of ultimatums and effectively managing them is vital for preserving your freedom of choice and ensuring that your decisions are based on what is truly best for you, rather than what others try to impose upon you. Stay composed, evaluate your options, and communicate your boundaries. These are essential steps for navigating the challenging waters of ultimatums. Form number 8, recognizing blame. Blame is a dangerous weapon that can be used to manipulate and control others. It slowly seeps into your mind, causing self-doubt and making you feel perpetually guilty. It's like a poison that distorts your perception, reflecting all your actions as mistakes or faults. But it's important to recognize when someone is trying to shift their responsibility onto you. To counter blame, you must assert your own reality and remember that your feelings and perceptions are valid. Don't let someone else rewrite your story or make you feel responsible for things beyond your control. Think of it as holding a shield that protects you from the poisoned arrows of guilt. Before accepting blame, practice self-reflection. Ask yourself if you are truly responsible for the situation and if the accusation is fair. It's like looking at a map before embarking on a journey, ensuring you're on the right path. Communication also plays a crucial role. Express how you feel when someone unjustly blames you and set clear boundaries. For example, you can say, "I understand you're upset, but I do not accept responsibility for your actions." It's like putting a "Do Not Enter" sign in your emotional garden. Furthermore, it holds great significance to surround oneself with individuals who are supportive and respectful. A nurturing and positive environment can be likened to fertile soil, allowing one's true potential to thrive. On the other hand, an unsupportive environment resembles rocky ground, where growth is hindered. To summarize, it is crucial to identify blame in order to maintain emotional and mental well-being. By acknowledging and addressing this tactic, one can safeguard themselves from manipulation and ensure that their actions and thoughts remain authentic, untainted by unjust guilt. It is essential to keep a clear mind, establish firm boundaries, and cultivate a healthy environment to navigate through the intricate maze of blame successfully. Form number 9. Beware of information overload. If something feels overwhelming or confusing, it's important to be cautious. Beware of situations where you are bombarded with excessive information, often complex or confusing, that hinders your ability to make clear decisions. Imagine it as being in the eye of a storm, surrounded by a whirlwind of data, facts, and figures from all directions. This can leave you feeling confused, overwhelmed, and ultimately incapable of making informed, rational decisions. Manipulators use this tactic to disorient you, making you more susceptible to their influences or demands. It's like being given a puzzle with too many pieces, expecting you to give up and let them take control. To protect yourself from this information storm, the first step is to recognize when you are being inundated with too much data. If you find yourself in such a situation, take a moment to pause and breathe, just like pausing in the middle of a frenetic movie to understand the plot. Then, try to simplify the information by breaking it down into smaller, more manageable parts. It's similar to dismantling a complicated engine piece by piece, making it easier to understand and handle. Another effective technique is to ask questions, clarifying any doubts that may arise. Don't be afraid to say, "I don't understand. Can you explain it differently?" It's like asking someone to turn on a flashlight in a dark room. Additionally, seek external opinions or advice. Consulting with an impartial third party can provide you with a fresh and objective perspective, just like looking at a map from above, offering a clear view of the landscape. Finally, trust your instincts. If something feels overwhelming or confusing, listen to that inner voice. It might indicate that you are under someone's influence. It's akin to an internal alarm system warning you about possible threats. Being conscious of information overload is crucial in preserving your independence and ability to make choices. By acknowledging, simplifying, questioning, and seeking guidance, you can stay composed amidst the overwhelming flow of information and make decisions that genuinely reflect your own desires. Always bear in mind that in a world where knowledge is power, safeguarding your mind is akin to protecting your most precious stronghold. Form number 10. Identify topic shifting. When someone constantly changes topics to avoid responsibility or confuse you, it's like watching a magic trick unfold in a conversation. One moment, you're deep in discussion about an important issue, and suddenly the topic shifts to something completely unrelated, leaving you feeling puzzled and disoriented. This tactic is often used to divert attention from sensitive or compromising topics, and it's a subtle yet powerful form of manipulation. Imagine walking along a clear path and suddenly finding yourself in a maze of dead-end conversations. Manipulators are experts at this game of misdirection. When they feel cornered or questioned, they swiftly change the topic to evade responsibility or scrutiny. It's like a skilled dancer gracefully stepping away from dangerous ground. But to navigate through these conversational twists and turns, the first step is to recognize when it's happening. If you notice a sudden shift in topic without a logical transition, it should raise a red flag. It's akin to realizing that the landscape has dramatically changed on a journey. Once you identify a topic shift, try to steer the conversation back to the original issue. You can say something like, "That's interesting, but let's get back to what we were discussing before." It's like a captain redirecting their ship to its original course after a detour. Stay calm and firm, and don't allow yourself to be swept away by the current of irrelevant topics. It's crucial to maintain balance amidst strong winds. If the topic shift persists, don't hesitate to question the intention behind it. You can directly ask, "Why are we changing the topic?" This is similar to turning on a light in a dark room, revealing what is being hidden. Stay vigilant and assertive in steering the conversation towards the truth. At last, set clear boundaries in communication if you sense the conversation is unproductive or consistently going off track. It's acceptable to conclude the discussion, just like knowing when to walk away from an unfair game. Recognizing topic shifts is essential for upholding honest and transparent communication. By acknowledging, redirecting, and questioning these shifts, you assert your entitlement to a meaningful and respectful conversation. Remember, in the art of conversation, staying on track is just as crucial as knowing how to navigate through this journey. Exploring the 10 ways to identify and combat manipulation has shed light on the various tactics used by those looking to sway our decisions, emotions, and perceptions unethically. From emotional manipulation to diverting topics, each method exposes the workings of manipulators and teaches us how to protect our autonomy and integrity. Remember, awareness is our strongest defense. By recognizing these strategies, we are better prepared to counter manipulation attempts in our daily lives. It's like having a map in unfamiliar territory, guiding us to safety. Manipulation can manifest in different forms and areas of our lives, be it in personal relationships, the workplace, or the public sphere. With the right knowledge and skills, we can confidently face these challenges and safeguard our minds and emotions from unwanted influences. If you found any part of this message helpful, show your support by liking and commenting, helping the algorithm recommend it to those in need. Don't forget to subscribe for more content and explore our existing videos for valuable insights. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of the 10 ways to recognize manipulation resonated with you the most? Have you encountered these tactics in your life? How did you handle them? And what strategies proved most effective? Share your experiences and reflections in the comments to foster a community of learning and support. Let's work together to effectively combat manipulation. See you there, dear Stoic.